my name is Hestern Banda. I was on the board of Bishop Mackenzie International School for 6 years. It's 2007 to 2013. Yeah, I chaired the board for my first 3 years of the 6-year term. And so for 3 years, I was chairman of the board. It was a very challenging time for the school. We had just come out of the designated schools board and we became an autonomous independent school. And so we needed to provide strategic leadership and vision to make the school an excellent place. So there were several challenges that as parents and teachers were facing, and we clearly needed to have leadership that would move the school forward. So then I chose to join the board and serve on the board. Yeah, be the change that you want to be, and be the change that you want to see, I can say. So we needed to have people to actually step in and step up the governance of the school. And we couldn't just be spectators. So I thought about spending my time contributing to the governance of the school to make it bigger and better and brighter. Yeah, very briefly, the government had several schools, and so they had a board that was managing those schools, St. Andrews, Sir Harry Johnson in Zomba, and then Bishop Mackenzie in Lilongwe. But that did not give the freedom to the schools to manage their affairs. So we decided that it would be better that we manage our own affairs, we manage the budget, and grow the school to where we wanted it to be. And so with the decisions made together with government, it became possible for us to register Bishop Mackenzie International School as a trustee, as a trust. And therefore the trustees became the governing individuals, so hence the board of trustees. We needed to make big changes to make it a strong school, to make it an international world-class school. And so we embarked on several things that we saw were necessary at the time. First of all, strengthening the management and leadership of the school to make sure that what happens in the classroom is good, but again to look at the governance of the school, along with improving the infrastructure of the school. So we began to look at what strategically we needed to do as a board, together with the Parents and Teachers Association. And we realized that it was a lot of hard work. So me and my colleagues on the board were meeting once every month, and we had board subcommittees meeting maybe twice a month, and then together we make the decisions. So we ended up with a long-range strategic plan that laid out the path to how the school would evolve and develop into a world-class school. And then we looked at infrastructure needs. But more importantly, we looked at the quality of the education that the school was providing. So we decided to strengthen the international teachers recruitment, where we needed to look at teachers that were qualified and experienced enough to come and teach here to improve the education levels that we were providing. Yeah, we did a lot of things, and one of the things that we wanted to do was to change the curriculum, and that was not easy. We had, meetings. The school hall was packed with parents. Almost every month we had meetings where we had to discuss and look at making a change to the curriculum. And we ended up agreeing in a direction to take. And so during my time as chairman of the board, we ended up strengthening the administrative systems and structures and procedures of the school. We strengthened the academic team and what we were doing. But also we looked at establishing a very strong Parents and Teachers Association to make sure that the parents were involved and they participated in what the school was doing, which was great. And then along with the strategic plan that we developed, we looked at how we can reduce expenditure to increase funds that were available for improving the delivery of the education in the classroom. And that long-range strategic plan included purchasing of land, which the school now has, on which we were going to build teacher houses. So in the long range, you'd save on rentals, and then the money will become available for improving the quality of education at the school. And then we also looked at improving the infrastructure, the surroundings and the grounds, with very specific plans for what we saw was needed to be improved and to be added in terms of infrastructure. But overall, we wanted to embrace cultural diversity and promotion of confidence and excellence in our students, staff, and the parents, which I think, looking back, we can say yes, we have that. There's diversity, so people have embraced diversity. Unity and diversity, which is quite good. Well, some of them have actually happened outside our time as board members, but it was because we had left a long-range strategic plan with a very clear vision, giving a roadmap to what things need to be put in place. Now, along with this was our pursuit to have the school accredited to international agencies. So actually that's one of the milestones I'm very proud of as a parent and someone who served on the board of Bishop Mackenzie International School. So now the school is accredited to 4 agencies: the Council of International Schools, the International Baccalaureate Organization, that's why we're an IB school, the New England Association of Schools and Colleges, and then the Association of International Schools in Africa. That was a lot of hard work because each of these agencies required certain standards to be accomplished before you are accredited as a school that they would accept. So we had visits of board members from these agencies coming to meet with us as board members and meeting the teachers, inspecting our infrastructure, and then they would make recommendations in terms of what needed to be done, number of classrooms, security and safety, those kinds of things. And we managed to tick one by one of those requirements, and here we go. We're an accredited school with each of these 4 international agencies. So that was quite a lot of work, but we did it. Yeah. And one of the things I can highlight is how difficult it was to convince some of the parents. We did not dismiss their concerns, and so we took on board their concerns. Their concerns, some of the parents, were that we were shifting the curriculum away from the British IGSCE and going into an IB school with PK and MIP and IB. So we came to a compromise where we had a transition to have some of those students whose parents insisted that they have the IGSCE to complete that, but then transitioning within the class that was not yet at the exam level to MIP. And then that class became the IB class when they finished their MIP. And I look back with pride that we did that. Bishop Mackenzie is an international baccalaureate school. It's offering world-class education to its students because of those changes and then the accreditation that we have, because that entails certain standards of education that the school should offer. And so, if I can just say what it means for Bishop Mackenzie to be an international baccalaureate school, the international baccalaureate programs aim to provide an education that enables students to make sense of the complexities of the world around them, as well as equipping them with the skills and dispositions needed for taking responsible action for the future. That wouldn't have happened with an ordinary British school curriculum. So this is, I think, an outstanding feature of Bishop Mackenzie, being an IB school. Yeah, improved infrastructure overall, improved quality of our teachers and administrative staff. One of the changes that we made was to have a director who will be reporting to the board, and then the director would be leading a team of 2, head of primary and head of secondary school, and each of those heads would lead the departmental heads. So that was a big shift. And then we would have the director and the heads of the primary and secondary be responsible for recruiting teachers at international level. So that improved the standards, I believe, because we were scrutinizing who would come to teach at this school. So that was a major change. Another change was the growth of the school. We had up to 750 students. I don't know how many there are now, but we were growing. And that meant we needed to move quickly to make sure that we had the adequate facilities, the quality that was needed for an IB school. And I actually, as a parent, with my 4 princesses, came to Bishop Mackenzie for 24 years, up to the last one, Megan, our 4th born. When she left, we had come here 24 years, taking them back and forth. And tremendous change, tremendous improvement that we see. Yeah, so the first one was Edith, our firstborn, and she came here to start standard 1. She had done her preschool somewhere else. So yeah, my wife and I were walking hand in hand, and one of us holding Edith's hand, taking her to her class. Was a wonderful moment, and we just had the confirmation that this was the school where our children should go. Yeah, so each one of them has gone through here, and they have flourished wherever they've gone. They've all gone to the US for their tertiary education, and so we're so proud that they did that. And one of them, Blessings, is a teacher here. She's one of the Malawian teachers, and she's heading the arts department at Bishop Mackenzie, and she's flourishing, she's happy, and they cherish her too. Yeah, I think the fact that it's an international school, they were up to about 79 different nationalities at one time. It means these children are being exposed to a multicultural community, which has had a very tremendous impact on my children. They relate very well cross-culturally. They fit easily. Why? Because they went to a school that is multicultural, and that's a big plus for this school. At home, where I was the indigenous species and the only male, so you got these very assertive girls. They know what they want, and full of knowledge, which I didn't have at their age. But just a satisfaction knowing that me and my wife as parents are giving the best of education to our girls was a wonderful feeling, and that's why we continued. It was not easy, and with other parents we could feel the pinch of the fee levels, but it was worth it. It was worth it. And we made sure that as an international community, we were sensitive to the fact that it needed to be a school where we are inclusive. And so we introduced the 3-tier fee levels, intentionally to make sure that we embraced all the students that, whose parents had chosen to send them here. And that's been great. It's been very impactful in terms of the nation. I think all these kids who have gone through Bishop Mackenzie, I don't know where they are, but they must represent a big professional force that is making a big contribution and impact in the world, wherever they are. It's because of this school. Yeah, I would like to say congratulations to Bishop Mackenzie International School. This is the 80th anniversary. And this must have been a vision the founders had, and it's great to see that it's continuing. And we look forward to the celebrations in August. We'll look forward to seeing, the alumni and others who may come back who have been part of this school. And I'm so grateful to the people that I worked with, the board members, parents who, along with me, made this difference. And the director at that time, Peter Todd, was the first director that we had. A great man. He was a great educator, and so we worked well together. And the teachers that we had at the time, and then this has continued with the pursuit of recruiting top-notch international teachers. And to see the students, like now, you see the student body that's happy, joyful, and getting top world-class education. It's, something that I'm happy about. Yeah, we'll continue to save and support the school as much as we can, but we keep an eye to see that it doesn't change the course. It's in the right, the trajectory for the school is the good one. So congratulations to all the teachers, all the parents, and all of you alumni. Bishop Mackenzie is a great school, and we have made it so. Thank you. Well, it's vindication that we made the right choices and decisions, and that we planted a seed of greatness into the people that succeeded us. And so now I can just see how all the visions that we had in our long-range strategic plan have been realized, and they continue to be realized. And I hear now that there's a 5-year strategic plan, which is a great way to roll out the long-range strategic plan. So it's good to see the changes. It's good to see a beautiful campus. The grounds are great. The infrastructure is good, and more improvements being made. And what I would like to say is this, that together with the international community, we need to continue to invest in the school infrastructure, in what happens in the classroom, and continue to make Bishop Mackenzie a great place for our students.